Continuing coverage right now, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, they have finalized its plan for reintroducing gray wolves into their natural habitat over on the western slope.
Colorado Parks and Wildlife plans to begin that reintroduction by the end of this year. KRDO News Channel 13's Scott Harrison joins us live from the Parks and Wildlife office on Sinton Road in Colorado Springs with more details.
Good morning, everyone. Well, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service announced their final plan for the wolves last Friday. This comes nearly 3 years after, you remember, Colorado voters passed a statewide ballot measure to bring those gray wolves back. As we take you to video now with more information about this story and where it stands now, following that vote in November of 2020 were statewide hearings, among them here in Colorado Springs, involving experts from other states with wolf populations and from residents who live in or near the reintroduction areas and would likely be affected by the wolves. What's particularly interesting here is that Parks and Wildlife requested doing this introduction as an experimental population to allow for greater flexibility in managing the wolves. That flexibility is intended to help wolves and affected landowners coexist and reduce negative impacts to those landowners. Essentially, this means that the state will be allowed to create its own rules for managing gray wolves, including determining when a landowner can shoot a wolf to protect property and livestock. In those instances, landowners may be allowed to acquire a permit to shoot a threatening wolf. And it remains unclear this morning where Colorado is going to get the dozen or so wolves that it plans to reintroduce on the western slope every year for the next 3 to 5 years. Idaho has already declined to participate, and Colorado is awaiting on word back from Washington, Oregon, and Montana. We are live in Colorado Springs this morning. Scott Harrison, KRDO News Channel 13.